Question is, what specific plans do you have to improve access, convenience, and affordability for public transportation in the city?
Thank you very much. As you know, I served 18 years on the Metropolitan Transit System, and as its vice chair of the entire MTS for 16 years, with the responsibility of the budget committee, and we made a difference. Transportation is a key factor in a community that makes a difference. While vice chairman of MTS, we became nationally recognized as the top system in the nation. And as vice chair, I promoted and ensured that my building partnerships and relationships with the other 14 members of the board to promote the expansion of bus rapid transit, which is BRT, and ensure that the public right-of-way was integrated into the Otay Ranch development. This is part of the smart growth. This land set aside for transit is a key to the implementation of the BRT, and I can very pleased to say that this will be implemented and started in 2015. As your mayor, I will monitor the implementation of the BRT, and including direct access to the route through the 805 freeway, and we will move Chula Vista residents from freeways during peak hours and less traffic congestion within the city. We provide access, convenience, and affordability in the public transit for our city. In addition to this, I also support expanded use of the MTS access buses in Chula Vista that provide access for disabled and the handicapped. And countywide, that's a service that has helped over 420,000 disabled residents last year alone. With the development of the Bayfront project to assist the transportation needs, we can also implement what I call a water taxi. As this project comes in, it will provide access to all parts of the bay, including Hotel Del Coronado, the Convention Center, the Gaslamp District, Petco Park, and what a wonderful alternative for the transportation needs. You know, the thing that's unique about the Bayfront with such a large project is many times you have to use the freeways. We don't have to use the freeway. We don't have to even use the trolley system. We can use the water taxi. And as your mayor, I will promote the BRT, expand the trolley use, increase the use of toll roads, and carpooling.
Ms. Salas?
Here's something that we can be proud of in Chula Vista. The people in Chula Vista and the South Bay have the highest ridership per capita in the whole county. And we have the biggest fare recovery at the box. So that means that we're a money generator for MTS, not a drainer, okay? So what I would like to ask the budget chair in the whole 16 years that he was there is that why didn't he fight more for bus stops that were equal to other areas that were shaded, that were comfortable for their residents? You know, why didn't he fight for you all, Southwestern Community College students, when you come to school here on the buses, it's standing room only. We need more bus service here in the South Bay. If he was the chair for 16 years, why didn't he fight for that access for us when we're giving more? The blue line on the trolley was successful from the South Bay from the first day that it opened. And we are really carrying a lot of the burden for the rest of the MTS system. So I'll get off of that and tell you the positive. What we need to do in our communities and what we have been doing is encourage transit-oriented villages. We need to fast-track development for the developers that want to do transit-oriented development that makes it convenient for people to get on the bus, on the trolley, to get to work. And those are things that we can concretely do if we have strong representation on MTS. And let me tell you, in the 2 years that I've been on MTS, I have questioned them. You have to have the leadership to question them as why they're not giving us our fair share when we're more than doing our fair share for them.
Thank you. You know, access to transportation is really about moving people and goods. And it's more about just whether you ride a trolley or a bus. It's about public health. It's about being able to have multiple ways to get around in your car, walking, biking, getting access. It has a direct relationship to your ability to have work and employment and be a productive member of the community. So having access to transportation is really important, and having it be affordable is very important. I think that some of the specific things we need to understand and do, SANDAG is an acronym for an agency that plans transportation all over the county. And their current plan is being updated again. It's updated every 5 years. And once again, it is really focused on building additional road capacity, and oftentimes in other parts of the region before South Bay. We need to put more emphasis on transit because 40% of residents in Chula Vista work one or more jobs full-time and still can't meet their basic housing and transportation needs. And a significant percentage of those are transit dependent. In other words, their only option of getting around, whether that's just to be healthy or whether to get to work and be a productive citizen, is transit. And yet our regional planners continue to put transit as an afterthought. We need to do more to put transit first. I think we also need to support policies that utilize new and existing streets when they're revitalized for multiple modes of transportation. That you can have opportunities to repurpose and redesign our existing streets so they better connect to transportation opportunities and that they promote walkable and bikeable communities as well. Transportation and access to that is about not just being able to move from point A to point B. Sometimes it also means having a clean environment, and it means having access to work. And so I think that we need to reprioritize the budget at SANDAG, we need to emphasize transit, and we need to better connect our projects to multiple modes of transportation.
So my feelings about this are pretty much what Councilmember Salas described. For me, the issues with public transportation is really a fair share issue. I see, when I travel to North County, I see lots of exotic, fancy transit stations that I don't see here. And yet, as Councilmember Salas pointed out, residents of the city of Chula Vista and South Bay produce most of the ridership for MTS, the Metropolitan Transit System, yet the revenue from that ridership doesn't come back to South Bay. You know what the busiest trolley station is in the whole county? The Palomar Street trolley station. There are so many opportunities, so many things that could be done at that trolley station to take advantage of the people who use it. We don't have enough public restrooms along our trolley stations. It's a huge need. It's a human need, and yet people who use the trolley have to jump off and find a 7-Eleven or a Subway or something in order to use a restroom. It's ridiculous. So what we need to do as a city is fight for our fair share of the revenues that come out of the transit system, because we're not getting them now. Let me add that the city too is doing a fantastic job with bicycle transportation planning. If you drive around the city on weekends, especially on Sundays, you see bikes all the time, all over the place. Bike riders who use our roads for recreational travel using a bike. As a matter of fact, we just got an award from the International Cycling Association, a bronze award for the good job that we do with bicycle transportation. So we need to enhance that and as well demand our fair share of regional revenues from transit.
Aguilar talks about bicycles, and if there's one thing I know a lot about, it's bicycles, having started the original pedicab or bike cab company in San Diego in 1995. It's hugely important. We're talking about all these great ideas about what we can do about public transportation. Ms. Aguilar said, when I go north, I see all these wonderful transport or bus stations and that sort of thing. When I go north, I see jobs. And I want to see the jobs here. And it comes back to, we're talking about transportation to get to jobs someplace other than Chula Vista. We need the jobs here. We need the short distances to travel to your job where you can take your bicycle and get there. Don't we? We really need to talk about working in Chula Vista rather than the big problem is how do we get our 83,000 people out of Chula Vista so they can work? Well, what if 60,000 of them were working in Chula Vista? How grand would that be? And how many transportation problems would that solve? I think everybody could agree that it would make this conversation a completely different conversation. We would be talking about bike lanes. We would be talking about electric cars. We would be talking about ride sharing just to get to short distances to work. I continually seem to see businesses crop up in National City, and I'm saying, why not here? Why aren't we business friendly? Let's be business friendly. Let's do this. It's Chula Vista. It's the second largest city in the San Diego County. We need jobs here. Thank you very much.
Follow-up, a brief 1-minute follow-up, Mr. Rendon.
Yes, thank you very much. My colleague, Ms. Salas, either misled or did not understand in her previous comment when she said that San Diego has the highest fare box recovery. Yes, that's true, but would you let me finish? Oh, I'm talking about the fare box recovery rate.
You'll have your opportunity.
Yes.
You'll have your opportunity.
Thank you. The fare box recovery rate was over 90% when the blue line initially opened. Now it's less than 50. In fact, it's pretty close to 45%. Yes, it may be true the highest fare box recovery rate, but it is more than 50% subsidized. So that's a misalignment of facts. The second thing, to be successful at MTS, it's a 15-member board, and you have to build partnerships. And the thing that I'm very proud that was accomplished by building those partnerships with the colleagues on the other cities is that we are rehabilitating the blue line, which was the last section to have occurred, so that we have a single trolley system, not one for the rich and one for the poor, but we have one that provides all of it. And the blue line is now under full rehabilitation, so that we will have the same quality MTS transit service trolley lines that we had. That's the difference in leadership. That's how you get it done when you outvote it 14-1. You build those partnerships, and I'm very proud of how we've accomplished and made that difference in the city of Chula Vista. Thank you.
I think that the coalitions at MTS are changing since the good old days that Jerry Rendon was on MTS. So the coalitions are changing, and there are coalitions being built that are speaking more in a strong voice to make things better for the South Bay. So just because things worked in the past in one way does not mean that a board stays stagnant. If it does, you're always doing the same thing over and over again. So leadership also means the ability to question why. The ability to question why the makeup of our representation on MTS or SANDAG is not just, it's based on, that we need to be based on not only population, but what we bring to the table. So let me tell you about how money is allocated with Transnet as well. You know, the Transnet tax has been voted on twice already. Do you know that the people of South Bay are the ones that carried that forward so it could get passed? The people in the north were the ones that were reluctant and voted against it. The majority did. And so what happens? The dollars get spent in the North County first and then in the South Bay. Why are our HOV lanes finally getting done when they've been in existence in North County for many years?
Look, jobs and good transportation, it's not like we have to pick one or the other. We can have both, and we need both. People need good public transportation, not only to get to work, they need to get to school. I mean, we just talked about how the busiest bus route in the city of Chula Vista is the bus route that connects the trolley stations with Southwestern College. So it's not a matter of we need better transit so people can go to work in North County. We need jobs in Chula Vista, and then we need good transit so that people who live in Chula Vista can get around the city. We're a big city, and we need good public transit.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
A quick response is look, we're talking about solutions. Let's start with the light engineering, the traffic lights. Let's get the traffic moving more smoothly. Even the buses, that affects the buses. Isn't that something that we can do quite easily? We can talk about engineering with our staff and about how we can move the buses through. We can talk about these the express buses, if you will, going east-west, north-south. We can get all that put together.